Hello and welcome to this week's Cari Connects. I am Psychic Medium Cari Mugz, and each week I pull a card from a deck to let you know what's coming up for the week and the signs and symbols to watch for. If you're listening to this on my Spunky Spirit podcast, you can watch it on any of my social media platforms. Will all be listed in the show notes below. Speaking of my Spunky Spirit podcast, a new episode should be up this week. If everything goes right this week, then the new episode, I think this one will be about my trip to Scotland, but then I'm going to start creating series. So it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. Spunky Spirit podcast is coming back. So this week, it's February. Yes, February. Well, today's February 2nd, but the full moon was yesterday. So today we're using the Moonology manifestation. Yesterday was the snow moon, first full moon in February. Awesome. So it is by Yasmin Boland. She has a couple decks out about moons. One is manifesting. I think the other one is, I can't remember. They're all moon decks, but this one's manifesting because I use this one because it's the beginning of the year and it's the year to manifest. It's the year to move forward. So on the back of each card is a beautiful moon phase. And then each card is beautifully illustrated. She does have really pretty decks. So this week, it's always like the lottery, right? Okay, this is actually really, really cool. This is the last quarter moon in Capricorn. So Capricorn can be a little bit crazy sometimes. But this is leave the past behind. Leave the past behind. So this is, which is perfect. The first moon of February. So if you kind of got through January and you're feeling like you're not, because I don't know about you, but I kind of went through January feeling like I'm so behind. And I don't know if it was because of the trip to Hawaii or because, December, I just felt like we were charging through, trying to get it through. And then people getting sick, all the sickness that was going on, and then all of the stuff in current events going on. I just feel like January was so pushed and so like just autopilot, just trying to make it through. And so this is spirit telling you, leave that all behind. Leave all that behind. Or it could be even things that you've done in your past that you're ashamed of, or things that you don't like to look at your past. You have to remember the past made you who you are. So it could be something as simple as going through past trauma or past life or past something in the past that you are ashamed of, or you don't want to bring forward, or you don't like to think about. Or it could just mean that you've gotten so far. Instead of looking how far you have to, look at how far you've come. Like, look at how everything that you've done. Stop being so hard on yourself. Just know that you are in the right spot right now. You're right where you need to be, and you need to be in the moment. So just leave the past in the past. I love this saying that's like, you have to be in the now, because if you're in the past, you're full of worry, you're full of depression and stress, but if you're in the future, you have anxiety because you're anxious of what's coming. So if you live in the now, it's like when you let those two go. So stop being in the past. A lot can cause a lot of depression because you're so hard on yourself and you're so like, oh, I should have done this, and it sends you in a rabbit hole or a spiral. So this week, leave the past behind. Forget January, forget 2025. Move forward from right now. Just keep looking forward. Don't worry about what you did in the past. Just be you today. Just be who you are today, and don't be sad or depressed about the things that happened in your past, because those things happen for a reason. Because some of you think, well, why did I do that? Or why was I even in that relationship? Or why did that relationship ever happen? And honestly, it's because it had to. You had to learn the things, or even a job, not just relationships, like certain jobs. Why did I go through that moment? It was interesting because I'm thinking about a person that I did a reading for a long, long time ago. And she'd gone through a pretty bad divorce. And she's like, am I ever going to love again? And I said, yes, you're going to love again. And it's going to happen around this time. And it did happen again. And she did love again, but that relationship wasn't the greatest. But she didn't Ask that, right? Spirit tells you what you need to hear, not always what you want to hear. And so when that relationship fell apart, she's like, why? Why did that even come through? Why did Spirit even bring that relation? Because you had to learn something in that relationship. There's something that you had to learn. So you don't go through things and go through failures just because. You go through them to learn things. They get you to where you are now. If you talk to any entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, 100%, they've had 2 or 3 businesses in the past that have failed. So don't look at your past as a failure. Don't look at your past and be sad. Look at your past and be grateful for who it created. I used to look at my divorce in the past because it was brutal, and I used to look at it as a failure, but now I look at it as I am so much more, I am so much stronger. I just love way more who I am now than I was back then. And I wouldn't have my 4 awesome kids if I wouldn't have been in that relationship in the first place. But that that divorce made me so strong. It made me so much more capable of being who I am. And it made me who I am today. So I'm not going to regret it. I'm not going to be sad about it. And, something as simple as January kind of was a lot. It was just a lot. And so now we're just going to look and move forward and leave the past behind you. It's like the rear view mirror. The past is behind you for a reason. So don't keep looking up at the rear view mirror. So the signs and symbols for this week are going to be the Capricorn sign, of course, a full moon, and also too, standing alone in a field. So if you see anything that's like one solitary person standing in a field, or a big field with like one, with someone meditating, and also to this mountain thing is really, really beautiful. Now, there are no numbers with this one. So let's see, leave the past behind, new chapters. We're going to do 999 because 999 means that you're closing one chapter and opening another. So you have to close this chapter before you can move forward into this chapter. And so that's the manifesting thing too, right? They teach that all the time. You have to get rid of the old stuff before you can bring in the new. So if you're manifesting something really cool, you have to like get rid of what's blocking you here. So leave the past behind, move forward, which is perfect because again, we're going into the year of the horse and charging forward. So, and the snake was leaving behind our stuff. So here we go. Here we go, guys. This is a perfect card for this week. I love you so much. And this is perfect for me too, because January was a little tough for me. I did feel like I was behind on everything, but I'm moving forward and I have lots of things coming up. This year is going to be kind of kick ass. So I'll see you guys later. See you next week.